The Brit's the place to be. Radio living is the life for me. Airwaves spreading out so far and wide. Keep your FM, just give me that internet side.
Online is where I'd rather stay. I've got a lot of music to play. I just adore a Yankee view. Darling, I love you, but give me a show to do.
The Chat.
The Brats.
On air.
That's fair.
You are my wife.
Goodbye, British life.
The Yankee and the Brit on air. On the telephone, we have the wonderful Carol Plunk. Hello, Carol.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Wonderful.
Good evening.
What's going on?
Just enjoying life. It's wonderful.
Is that legal?
Well, sometimes. Just don't tell anybody about it.
Depends on what planet you live on, I guess. Where are you?
In Tennessee.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So right outside of Nashville.
Now, tell us where you're from, because it's not Tennessee.
Well, I actually am from Tennessee. I'm from a very small town outside of Jackson, Tennessee called Beach Bluff.
Oh, never heard of that one.
Very small community, little bitty country town. Jackson is about midway in between Memphis and Nashville. It's known as the hub city. It's where Carl Perkins is from.
Right. Is that 52 that runs through there?
52 does, I believe, go through there. There's actually several different little highways that go through there.
And
but
40.
yeah,
40 goes through there, too.
Yeah, 40 goes through there. That's the main thoroughway.
Been there lots of times.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hear much of an accent. That's why I was curious.
Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment.
Oh, really? What's wrong with a Southern gal having a Southern accent?
Excuse me, you've all got accents around here.
That's just
From where I'm coming
you're hearing
from.
things.
Oh, accents are absolutely wonderful. I think I've probably just traveled so much, playing music since I was able to play in bars and just travel from city to city to city. I guess I grew out of the accent a long time ago.
Maybe.
When did you get started with your music?
I actually started playing when I was 5.
Wow.
My dad got me started playing guitar and drums, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and I started playing professionally probably by the time I was 15 or 16.
Wow. Did you learn to play the guitar on your own?
Pretty much. My dad taught me a few chords, and I just kind of took off from there. I just play by ear.
I was just going to ask, do you read music or do you play by ear? I guess that took care of that question.
Yeah, I read music terribly.
I don't even know what any of that stuff means. Couldn't even begin to tell you.
Yeah, I actually did go to college for a while and learned how to read music, but it didn't do me much good. My ear was stronger than my ability to read, unfortunately.
Probably one of those ones that sat around and said, what am I going to need this for?
Exactly. I'm like, why do I need this? I can just hear it and play it.
That's why I failed algebra.
What's your earliest musical memory from when you were young and drooled everywhere?
Oh, the earliest memory. I remember being very, very young and pulling out the pots and pans and wooden spoons and playing them like the drums when my dad was a musician as well, and he would have friends over to the house, and they would play bluegrass music, actually, is what I was brought up on. And I would get out the pots and pans and just play away. That's my earliest memory of playing, pretty much.
Cool. And did you do any things at school? Like any concerts and things at school?
Our school that we went to, like I said, it was a very small community. There was probably 15 to 20 kids in each class, and maybe a couple hundred in the whole school. It was very small. We didn't have any kind of music program. The first time I played out with my own band was actually in my 9th grade talent show at school. they had a talent show, and my band played, and we won first place. We won $25.
Wow.
You were rich.
You're rich. Loaded.
We were loaded. It was fantastic. I remember that just like it was yesterday.
Music school back then was to take a ride down the back road and find some old man standing there playing his saxophone on the front porch.
That's it. That's it.
I've seen lots of that, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have a musical family?
My dad was a bluegrass musician, never famous or anything like that. He just played because he loved to play. He actually didn't start learning to play the guitar until he was well into his 30s. And I didn't learn that until after he'd already passed. And he had played for his entire life. Once he started, my grandmother on my mother's side played harmonica. And my grandfather on my dad's side was a harmonica player as well.
Who was the other one that played harmonica?
My grandfather on my dad's side and my grandmother on my mother's side.
Your grandmother played harmonica.
Mm-hmm.
How cool is that?
Oh, it was fantastic growing up in a musical family. There was every weekend there was some sort of little music gathering that we either went to or had at the house.
Did Mama sing or anything?
Oh, no, very terribly.
That's why she wasn't mentioned.
Yes.
I always thought, from down in the South, Mama sang bass and Papa played fiddle.
Oh. Terrible husband, terrible.
I know it, but can't help it.
So you're an independent, are you?
Yes, I am.
Is that your intention to stay as, or do you want to be famous and rich and loaded with $25?
$25, as long as I've got $25 in my pocket, I'm happy. As long as you can get the bills paid. It is. Just being happy with what you're doing and being able to do what you love, that's all that matters. I've never had any intention of being mainstream, making it big, making millions, or anything of that nature. I just want to play music and just be myself, and if there's people out there that enjoy what they're listening to, that's fantastic. I love that.
I take it is this all you do, or do you have a day job?
This is all that I am currently doing. That, and I have a 3-year-old now, so being a full-time stay-at-home mom and musician on the side right now.
How do you manage to pull that off?
Oh, it's quite complicated, but you figure it out.
I guess. Wow. So where do you record? The sound is fantastic.
I actually have a studio in my home.
Wow. Now who's doing the production?
That would be me.
Well, my, congratulations. You really got it nailed.
I'm doing everything on my own, pretty much.
See, you don't need to read music. So who do you have for a band?
I've got a couple local guys from Jackson, Tennessee, where I grew up, that I've played with for several years, that will back me up whenever I have band shows. Otherwise, I'm doing solo acoustic gigs.
Well, sounds pretty good. Well, let's mention their names, because without them, you wouldn't be all together there.
Oh, absolutely. So I've ran through a couple different drummers. Jason Edwards was my drummer for a very long time, and unfortunately he did pass a few years ago. Previous to that, Sid Barton was a drummer that I had, and he's also going to be a future drummer as well for upcoming larger gigs where a band is needed, and Mr. Tony Blackburn on bass guitar as well.
Very cool. What genre of music are you more or less associated with?
I would probably say Americana acoustic rock.
Yeah, I hear kind of a crossover between a couple different. I mean, from what I've heard, it could fit in a number of different places, really.
Right. It's been very hard for me to kind of, pinpoint exactly where do I fit in.
Well, you kind of will create your own niche, won't you?
Yeah, hopefully so. I think I can probably fit into several different categories. Whenever I'm, doing shows out live, I, in addition to the originals that I play, I also do a wide variety of cover tunes as well. And I also try to play a wide variety so that I can target every person that's in the audience, whether they're, in their teens, 20s, or in their 50s, 60s, 70s. I try and play something from a very broad spectrum.
What? I'm sorry. Since you're, I know you mentioned your family as being some influences, but who outside of that, music-wise, influenced you?
Yes, is there anything that's happened in your life or any kind of influences that's give you a bit of a direction?
Absolutely. My very first concert was December 5th, 1985 at the Mid-South Coliseum. Tickets were $12.75. My first concert was Motley Crue on the
Really?
Theater of Pain. Yes.
Wow. You opened for them?
I did not open for them. Has been my lifelong favorite band up to even now. I listen to them all the time. So they have been a tremendous influence in my life, even though I sound nothing like them.
I can't imagine what you would sound like if you did.
Yes, I was an 80s baby, growing up listening to all of the hair bands, Bon Jovi, Motley Crue, Skid Row, Rat, you name it. If it was in that era, I've probably got the album.
I know them all too well.
Mm-hmm.
And before that time, even.
Yeah. So that's what I listen to on a regular basis. Even now is still all of the, great music from the, early 80s, even into the 90s.
You do your own backup singing?
Yes, I do.
Wow, you really do it all.
I do.
She's like Bert on Mary Poppins, like the one-man band.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
You got cymbals strapped to your knees like a wind-up monkey then, huh?
And a big bass drum on your back.
Well, isn't that interesting?
So living in Tennessee, have you ever been starstruck?
I'm thinking, let's see. I did have breakfast at Chick-fil-A with Luke Bryan. I was in Guitar Center one day buying a guitar, and Keith Urban was in there.
Wow. Did you feel starstruck, or is...
Not so much. I thought it was really cool to see them out of their element, just in the normal day-to-day routines, with their family or just going out and buying a new instrument. That was really, really neat to see them without security, just walking around being normal people.
You wouldn't think that they would have, I don't know how to say it, you just don't expect that, I guess, to see them being like human.
No, you don't. And Nashville is kind of like a safe place for them, especially the outskirts, Franklin and Nolensville. People are just, out and about walking around all the time.
So is there any kind of music that really moves you and makes you want to dance around like a nutcase?
Probably anything on the heavier side, fast, loud drums and loud electric guitars. That's kind of the vein of music that I'm really into.
Do you listen to the radio at all? And it doesn't matter whether it's internet or regular radio, but
I do from time to time. If I'm on the road driving and I'm actually in a city where there's a radio signal, I do listen to the radio from time to time. But I would say that I'm probably listening to my old vinyl records most of the time.
So do you still, when you put on your, let's just say your favorite upbeat tune comes on, do you like still bop around the house and dance a little bit and sing along and?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Anytime Kickstart My Heart comes on from Motley Crue, that gets me.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
What about your 3-year-old? Do you think maybe you've influenced your little one, or do you think that's not happened as yet?
Oh, he absolutely loves music. He's definitely a music baby.
Ah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's so much fun. I never knew that having a little one around the house could be so exhausting, but so fantastic.
Yes, they can be very interesting. Has he reached the terrible 3s?
Not quite. I'm hoping he skips over that.
I think I heard a warning in your voice.
I'm sure it's coming at any moment, but we're keeping our fingers crossed.
Well, it's called the Terrible Twos where I come from, so maybe you've actually skipped the bad session, you know?
I know. I'm afraid the three-nager is coming.
That's going to hurt.
So
Go ahead.
do you have any heroes?
Let's see, musical influences, heroes, people in the genre of which I'm playing. I really enjoy the storytelling and writing of Melissa Etheridge. I think she's a fantastic songwriter, and that's someone that I enjoy to go see live. Even though it's not that 80s, hard rock, it's definitely more on the mellow side compared to that, but there's something about the energy that she possesses in her playing that's exhilarating.
What about Alanis?
Oh yeah, definitely. I went to see her on her Jagged Little Pill tour and could barely hear her of all the screaming in the audience. I don't think I've been to a concert where there was that much screaming for someone, but
I didn't think there was anything louder than her.
yeah, it was. Oh, you get a bunch of teenagers in there screaming. You'd be amazed at how loud the audience can scream over a powerful artist like that. But oh my God, yeah, she's amazing as well.
Don't you ever wonder how they could possibly be enjoying the music?
I know. You wonder that, but I do remember being, 15, 16, 17, going to concerts and just screaming and yelling my lungs out. But I still remember what it felt like to be in that presence.
What is it about you girls that got to do the screaming thing? Me and my buddies could never quite put that together. Like, what are they screaming about?
I could never understand it either.
But now I just want to sit there, be quiet, and just soak it all in.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I even did that. When I was young, in the late 70s, we went to a Heart concert, and it's like, will you people shut up? I want to watch them play. I want to hear the music, and it's just,
right.
All you girls were screaming again. I could never understand it.
As you get older, you're there for more than just the experience. You actually want to take it all in and actually hear the music.
Well, I like to watch people play. There's nothing to me that's more cool than sitting in the studio watching the music be made, the chords bent, the strings bent, the drums hit, the expression on somebody's face while they're playing. All that comes together for me. It always has.
Oh, yeah. It's amazing. The music has so many different layers to it, all the things that go into it. Some people just hear the final product and never get to experience what actually happens to create that sound. And it's really an incredible process.
What goes through your mind when you're on stage and really into your tune you're doing? Because everybody's, the mood of the crowd has got you like really way deep into the music, so you're giving it all you got. What goes through your mind? Do you spend your time trying to remember the lyrics, or are you just letting it happen? What actually goes on?
Just let it happen and just enjoy the moment. And I know those moments where the crowd is really into it, you're just there with them, hoping that they are having the time of their life and that you're making some sort of impact, on them and in their lives with the talent that you've been gifted with.
Yeah, I can't, I couldn't get on a stage for anything. I can sit here and yak all day behind a mic, but to get on the stage, there's just no possible way. I couldn't even do a speech or read an essay in front of the class in school, but I couldn't imagine what it's like to stand up there. What could possibly go through your mind while you're doing all that? So much going on around you.
It's very strange. I'm a very quiet, reserved person, but if you put me on a stage with a guitar in my hand, it's almost like I turn into a different person. So some people have a completely different persona on stage than they do in their, average day-to-day walk of life.
Oh, yeah, that I know. I've met a number of people when I lived outside of Nashville. Shania Twain was playing in a bar before she got famous. Geez, what the hell is his name now? Geez, it's been so long. anyways, he played golf at a golf course not far from where my girlfriend at the time worked, and he'd come in the store and get his gas for his car and things, and he was just the nicest guy, but when he'd sing, boy, could he belt out a tune. I wish I could remember his damn name now. I feel like an idiot. I can't think of him. He's so famous, it's not funny.
You look like one too.
Oh, yeah. Shut up over there.
Sorry, I just had to get that
Bloody
one in.
Brit.
I'm being too well behaved over here.
Have you ever been to England?
I have not. That is on my bucket list.
Is your music played over there?
Not to my knowledge. I would love to figure out how to get some overseas exposure for the music. That would be fantastic.
Well, when I said you sound a lot like the Sheryl Crow and the L7, they play a lot of that over there. They play a lot of your kind of music over there, so you'd probably be all right.
And we do have in the chat a friend of Donna's. He does live in England. He's listening, and he's all about your music too. So you do have one follower in England, if anything. And Bob Kennedy, another great artist that's in the chat. He said Vince Gill. Yes, that's who I was trying to think of, was Vince Gill.
Yes,
I'm
Vince
glad
Gill.
somebody else knows who you met.
You probably heard me mention it before because I talk about it every once in a while. He can remember better than I can.
So what do you like to do to relax when you're not jamming and looking after your little bambino?
Yeah, any hobbies?
I love scuba diving.
Really?
Yes, I am a scuba diver. Anything with the ocean, put me on a beach under a palm tree or give me a bottle of wine and I am happy as can be.
Have you ever heard of or thought about, I'm sure you've heard of it if you love diving that much, have you ever thought about like the places in Mexico that are in the caves with the deep bottomless diving places that people go?
That is also on my list of things that I want to do and places I want to go. Have not been there yet, but it is definitely something that I've researched.
I mean, I've seen, videos, of course, and things like that, and the water is so crystal clear. I mean, it's like just swimming in glass, I think it would be a great experience.
That water's also very cold as well. It's 72 degrees.
Well, it's no different than a bath water or a good cool shower in the summertime.
Ooh, I like my water about 105.
Oh, my God.
I guess. Wow. That'd cook everything if I got in that kind of water. I'm a white boy. I can't do that.
So what's your hopes and dreams for the future?
Hopes and dreams. I'd love to start writing, toward the end of this year into next, and hopefully have some more material to put out another full-length CD maybe by the end of next year.
Do you remember what your first song was about, the first one that you wrote?
Obviously not.
I should get people to do homework before they come on here, shouldn't I?
Right. The very first song I ever wrote, I do not remember, but I do remember one of the earliest songs that I had written was a song called Touched by You. And it's actually a song that I released on my very first CD that I released back in 1994.
Written from experience?
It was not. Strangely enough, I somehow am able to pull from imaginary resources and write songs that I know nothing about. And they come out as great stories. I don't know how it happens. Sometimes you feel like you're just a vehicle for the music and lyrics to flow through to get it down on pen and paper.
Have you ever thought about being an actress?
I haven't, but that would be a fantastic job.
You seem like you have the stature and imagination to really be a good actress. So you were talking earlier about how you're kind of reserved and all that, but when you get on stage, I would think, being an actress might be the same thing. Get out there, open up, be what you want to be, and then go back home and sit down and take care of the kids.
Oh, I know. That would be fantastic. I'd love that.
Okay, I'll sign you up.
Okay, wonderful. I will look forward to hearing back from you and my agent.
Uh-oh, I heard a little accent right there. There is a Tennessee accent right there.
There's a tinge of it in there for every now and then.
Yep, every now and then. I just heard it again.
I've got a bit of a wild imagination, so we're...
Boy, you ain't kidding. Woo, baby!
So if I was any good at writing, then I could imagine. Yeah, I see where you're coming from with where you get your lyrics from. You know how they just kind of come from some kind of wonderland.
Yeah, sometimes they just flow through you and you don't know where they come from, but you're grateful to have something written down.
Yeah, you're Wonderland, all right. You make me wonder sometimes.
I'm one of these people that's like, hey, I've got a cool idea. Hey, I've got a cool idea, and he's like, another one. Can't you go to sleep? Do you ever sleep?
No, you never sleep. So, where do we find your music?
You can go to carolplunk.com, and I've got a fairly new website that I just put up on the web here recently, and it should be fairly updated with future shows and the most recent music that you can download and purchase CDs from.
Is that a recent picture of you that we have in the poster?
Yes.
Very good. You look like a little rock and roller.
Thank you.
Yeah, you look like you got it all together. I think it's cool. I get a kick out of talking with you.
Yeah.
Well, I was saying to her before we went live, I said you kind of have like a bit of a radio voice, you know. She's
she's got a great voice. Are you kidding
she's
me?
Very
Yeah, she sounds great.
I've worked as a receptionist and even at a call center. I've done a lot of telephone work in the past.
A call center. Dare we ask what kind?
Oh, for insurance.
Oh, all right. I thought maybe it was a 1-800 number.
Did you ever like call people up and say, have you had an accident in the last 5 years?
No, we actually called all of the current customers, but you would be amazed at how many angry people there are out there.
Oh, really? I couldn't imagine.
Work in a call center and you find out who's angry.
Right, exactly. I would not recommend it.
Okay, I got a few questions I want to ask you, and then we'll let you go. We got a couple more of your tunes to play yet, too, but you're great to sit and chat with.
Oh, thank you so much.
How about this? What is your favorite word?
My favorite word?
Your favorite word. And it can be something that you say regular, like, oh, crap, or hallelujah, or whatever, you know.
Hallelujah.
My favorite phrase is probably, I don't know.
Oh, no, my son used to say that. I think he still does. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. That's probably my favorite phrase. That's my go-to. I don't know.
What's your least favorite word?
I never like hearing no.
Me neither. But that was 30 years ago.
That was before you married me.
Yeah, that's a bad word.
All right, thank you for that interjection, dear. What turns you on?
Music.
What turns you off?
Bad music.
What sound, and obviously I can't say this word proper because somebody always says what, but what sound do you love?
The sound of a distorted electric guitar.
For a minute there, I thought it was going to be the sound of silence. You didn't say anything.
Also, I love the sound of a soda can opening.
Really? Pop a top.
Yeah, pop the top.
Is that right? Oh, I'll be.
Yeah, or the cork on a wine bottle opening. That's one of my favorites too.
You beat me to it, husband.
I'm more of a wino than you are.
Whiner. Not wino, whiner.
All right. What sound do you hate?
You know, I don't know if there's anything that I hate. Probably if I had to pick something, I would say the sound of vomit. Someone vomiting.
Oh. Well, I've heard that many times. A lot of concerts are good for that.
Oh, yeah.
What's your favorite drink? Doesn't matter if it's water or alcohol.
Red wine.
Good choice. What's your... Well, wait, wrong question. What profession other than yours would you like to attempt? Obviously not insurance clerk.
Right. Since you put the bug in my ear, I'm going to say acting.
What profession would you not like to do?
Insurance. Call center.
I knew you were going to say that. I'm
Come
psychic.
on.
I'm a little bit psychic.
You can do better than that. We already know that one.
Oh, what would I not want to do? I would not want to
Think Mike Rowe
be.
now.
I'm going to say this from experience because I did internships at record labels and recording studios. I would not want to be the janitor or cleanup person there because
Because
bands
you guys
bands
vomit.
come in.
You,
Oh, they come in and destroy the place.
you vomit at some of the songs people send.
That they just destroy the place
Oh,
and don't have
jeez.
any respect. And not all musicians are like that by any means, but from my experience, it was not the most pleasant.
And it's okay for them to do that?
Well, they have the money to do it. Why not?
I see. Just like everything else, money talks.
Right.
All right. Number 10, last one. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you get to the pearly gates?
Hmm. Let me think about this one for a second.
5, 4,
Hmm.
3.
About okay. About time you got it right.
Good. There you go. I'm done with my end of the deal.
Okay.
Just tells us a little bit more about you.
Yes, yes, all the random stuff that you don't post on Facebook, you get to find it out here.
What do you think about, speaking of Facebook, what do you think about, and do you do any live videos?
It is something that I have contemplated doing. Um, I do post some live stuff or do some live videos from some shows occasionally, not near as much as I should be doing, but it is something that I'm wanting to get more into just because I think it shows, your audience a more personal side of you and get to know you a little bit better, rather than just hearing the polished product that you can do in the studio.
So you do think there's some benefit to it?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
We get it kind of both ways, actually. It's kind of almost a 50-50 thing from people. Some say yes, some say no.
Hmm.
Speaking of unpolished, what are you going to sing for us live on the Yankee and the Brit show?
What am I going to sing live? I don't know. I
Yeah.
bet I should probably go grab my guitar and play something, or we can schedule something for me to play a whole show for you.
Oh, that's a
Ooh
better
la la
idea.
la la. Yeah, yeah, you could do a whole show live.
Never even thought about that. That's a hell of an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, sign me up for that. I'd be happy to do that.
All right, you're signed up.
Okay,
No contracts either.
fantastic.
And you don't have to deal with any Nashville producers.
Wonderful. Just let me know when you want me to start singing and playing for you, and I will.
Boy, if I had the money, I'd pay you to come here and do a concert.
That'd be wonderful.
Beautiful. What a gal, and how nice just chatting with you. You're so nice,
Uh,
like you said, reserved, comfortable, relaxed. You know where you're going and what you're doing. Plans for the
It's
future then are?
That's called a 3-year-old. A 3-year-old
Oh, is that
determines
right.
what she's doing and where she's going.
I see.
Exactly. I'm just taking it day by day.
Can't get much simpler than that.
Yep, just day by day.
So,
Enjoy the life that you have and be thankful that you wake up each morning.
You don't play out at all now?
I do. I'm actually playing in Memphis, Tennessee next weekend. So I am doing shows here and there and am looking forward to, adding to my tour list of doing, even more shows as time goes on,
You gonna be
especially as the little one gets a little bit older.
you gonna be on the same stage as Elvis and B.B. King?
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's the place to break it open right there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anything else you'd like to add there, Britsky?
yes, is there anything that you would like to add before we flush you down the Yankee and the Brit show toilet? Because we literally do pull that chain.
I think you've pretty much got me in a nutshell.
Would that be a walnut or a pecan?
Let's go with a walnut.
Okay. What a beautiful piece of wood, too. I love walnut.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
All right. Very good. Thank you, my dear. Sure do appreciate your time.
Well, thank you guys so much. It's been a pleasure speaking with the both of you.
And we will try to put something together where you can come on and play live for a little bit. I think that'd be an awesome idea.
Yeah.
Sounds great. Just let me know when and we'll set it up.
We will. We're going to move on with a couple more of your tunes. Savior, moving on. We got those left to go yet. What is Savior about, by the way?
Actually, Savior was written about my previous drummer that I had. He was one of my best friends for many, many years, and he had some issues with drugs and alcohol a way back, and he had been clean for quite some time and fell off the bad bandwagon and had an accidental overdose. And we lost him a few years back, and that song, it just reached out and pretty much wrote itself, and that's him in a nutshell.
I'm sorry to hear that. What about moving on?
Moving on, I actually co-wrote with a good friend of mine up in Minneapolis, and it was about some past relationships that she had, and I was able to contribute a lot of the lyrics and all of the music to that, and it just kind of fell into place.
Very good. Well, thank you very much. We'll get on these songs, and we'll get back together with you here when we can.
All right, thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.